Good evening, everyone. This is the Carver Zoning Board of Appeals meeting at Town Hall in Room 4 on April 5, 2022. It's just 7 o'clock now. We have on our agenda this evening to begin an approval of our meeting minutes from our previous meeting dated March 22, 2022. And as is my custom, I have distributed drafts of these meeting minutes to each and every one of the board members, helpfully prepared in large part by our clerk. So I want to inquire whether everybody has received a copy of those minutes.
I have.
Yes.
Does anyone have anything that they'd like to change or discuss as to these minutes?
No.
No.
All right, so do I have a motion to accept these minutes now as written?
So moved.
Do I hear a second? All in favor?
Aye.
So those meeting minutes now are accepted, and we can segue into our only case of the evening. This is a new public hearing, and we've scheduled this one specially for you folks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Case number 18-9-7R, the petitioner being Stephen Harris. Are you Mr. Harris?
Yes, I am.
Requesting a dimensional variance pursuant to sections 2320 and 5222 of the Carver zoning bylaw for property located at 2 Arrowhead Lane in Carver at Assessor's Map 18, Lot 9-7R, so as to construct an attached master bedroom suite to include a bathroom and to incorporate 800 square feet of the single-family home into an accessory dwelling unit in the residential agricultural district. The variance is being requested due to the need for side setback relief. So I always tell people at the beginning of these cases that the board, unlike maybe some other boards and committees and judges in courtrooms, sometimes they don't start to look at the paperwork until the case is called. Not the situation with this board. So we have gone through the paperwork. We have an understanding as to what you folks want to do. And before I turn the meeting over to the individual board members to make their inquiries of you, I want to turn the floor over to you folks now and have you tell us in summary fashion what it is that you'd like to do.
Okay.
Who wants to talk?
I can,
All right, so you are Stephen Harris.
I'm
That's
Stephen
good,
Harris.
right there.
Yeah, okay. I do have some poster boards of the same thing that you have there, the plans. I don't know if you
Well,
want
if
to
we
put them
need
up.
those, we'll let you know.
Okay, thank
But
you.
we have these open in front of us, as you can see.
Yep. It's a, I won't say cut and dry. Nothing is cut and dry. Everything has its own value. We moved down here to Carver last year, and first week of July. We moved from Salem after living there 67 years each.
Wow.
We sold the family homestead.
Had to get away from Halloween up there, right?
I love Halloween. I'm gonna miss it. I'm gonna miss it. We're gonna create our own now.
Go back up.
We're gonna create a, oh, please. I prefer the high taxes down here. But anyways, we're been married 47 years tomorrow. And we're hoping to
Don't be doing something
reestablish.
special for your bride.
It is, it is. We're hoping to reestablish
He's shaking.
a new family homestead. My son got married 2 years ago,
3 years ago.
3 years ago, okay, and his
Wife
wife is from
from
Falmouth,
Hmm.
from Falmouth. So she still worked in Falmouth, and she was commuting from Salem
Wow.
to Falmouth for over 2 years, 2.5 years. So we felt together that we needed to do something and make it easier
Them.
for them. My son, he got a job in Hingham, so he's a soccer person, he does administration and he coaches 3 teams, so they're working in the area.
Where does he administer soccer?
They have a big complex, and he takes care of, he does the talk program, he does other things with the
Does
scheduling,
Mhm.
and it's a full-time gig. He's been doing it for 4 years anyways.
Is that in Hingham?
In Hingham,
Yeah.
right.
South
It's
Shore-
a
South Shore
complex.
Select?
Yeah. South Shore Select, I
Yes.
believe that name of it, yeah. He works for them. And so we packed up 95 years of stuff from the basements and got rid of stuff, and we're hoping to reestablish down here, and what happens down here with them, that's gonna be there. So in order for us, we did a lot of house hunting, and we were looking for something with an in-law apartment already set up, and there's just nothing. I mean, we looked, and I've been in the trades for 40 years. I was a bricklayer with the union in Boston, and I've done a lot of the work myself in my own house that we sold up, 3-family up in Salem. So we figured we'll try to find something that was close enough that we could, change it over into an ADU. ADUs came out just not long ago, and we figured we could definitely survive the downsizing to the 800 square feet. And we're gonna go from 2,500 square feet apartment that we had down to 800, and it's doable. We've already got rid of a lot of stuff.
Less to clean.
Yes. Yeah. So right now, we're in the whole house, and we have 2 bedrooms, there's 3 bedrooms upstairs, and my wife and I are getting to the point where stairs just aren't feasible. 30 years as a bricklayer, 40 years as a bricklayer, and my wife has some medical issues that she had taken care of a couple of years ago, and going again on Thursday. So we have an issue with the stairs. And so we figured if we could squeeze something in on the side of the house, we could, make it work. Because there's an old dining room, we're gonna convert that into a kitchen, and there's a living room that's gonna stay there, and we'll build the new bedroom and the bathroom. And we're zoned, well, I don't know if it's zoned, but the septic system will take another bedroom. So, that's taken care of. And it is what it is. We just, asking for relief. We know we're tight on the side. It's by 10 feet, plus or minus. And I've talked to all the neighbors on the street, except for one. She owns a house, but she doesn't live there. But everybody on Arrowhead Lane I spoke with, and they're all in favor. And I told them, if you have any issues, please come. And they said, no, they're fine.
Okay. Well, thank you for introducing this to us.
Okay.
And now I ask the board members to make inquiry. Mr. Harris, you can sit down. Thank you.
I was gonna ask about the butters, but I don't see anybody here.
Yep.
How many people have you actually spoken with?
I spoke with, on Arrowhead Lane, I spoke with Jim and Jamie Delabonis, they're 2A. I spoke with one just the other day again. I mean, I talked to these folks, 2-3 months ago, because this has been in the making for a while. And across the street, that was Robert Young. And 3 Arrowhead Lane,
Kirk,
Chris,
and Alan.
I spoke with them and Alan, yeah. And then the Walkers further up the street.
I
Yeah.
did,
Yeah, and she's a fan of theirs.
Do you know if they all received a letter?
Yes,
Yes.
everybody I
Okay.
spoke with said they did get one.
Okay.
But the ones over on North Main Street,
Or Lacey Lane, we don't know.
we don't know them. And, I haven't spoken to them, I couldn't catch them in. I was out walking in the neighborhood the other day, just,
They're across the street, right?
what's that?
Lacey Lane, isn't that?
Right across the street,
It's
yeah.
across the street.
Yeah,
right here.
yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah, it's right across, yeah.
Two
in
A
the
is
other
the
cul-de-sac.
one that's
Yeah.
Yeah,
is gonna be right next to where you're putting the addition on. Two A
yeah,
is.
that's
Yeah.
Jim and Jamie.
Yeah.
Yeah, Delon, yeah, no, they're good people, real good, nice people. We get along great. We have no issues in the neighborhood. I try to help out. We all work together on projects.
How about
And Kurt?
fencing?
Fencing
Is-
is existing fence right now. It's a stockade fence where the addition is gonna be. And, property line kind of changed it up, and once I did the survey, it showed that that was my fence,
Okay.
which needs repairs.
Good timing.
So I was kinda hoping,
Good news, bad news.
yeah, but no, that's fine. I'm retired now and I work all day at the house anyway, so I haven't had time to go fishing.
There's no tall trees or anything?
Oh, there's a gorgeous
Catalpa tree.
catalpa tree right
That's not gonna
there, but it's not gonna
be touched at all.
touch. I've already trimmed it last year. It's a 220-year-old tree.
It's a beautiful tree.
Is that the one you show in the front?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was wondering what that was.
It's a beautiful tree. But the addition's going on past that.
Yeah.
Past that, yeah.
Going the other way.
You know the height of the addition?
First
It's
level.
one story. I'm gonna do a flat roof. The architect shows it a little bit higher than I want. He put a parapet, so, so the water goes in, then comes out the side. I don't want that, cause the catalpa tree is gonna fill that up with leaves, and I didn't want that. I don't know why he put it there. But it's gonna be a flat roof, and I'll say 10, 12 feet tops for the tree. It's
But the
gonna be
main,
flat.
the main house has a second story,
Oh,
so.
yeah, it does, yeah, yeah.
And it's
I'm
gonna be, and the stat is higher than what your addition is going to be.
Oh, absolutely,
Yeah.
yeah, we're just gonna have a little tiny shed roof, a small pitch that comes down, and I'll get gutter monkeys in there to do that up too. And no windows, I'm not gonna put any windows on that elevation, along the side of the neighbors. There's just gonna be out front, facing the pool and the backyard. It's gonna have the same shape as the,
Sunroom.
yeah, that room, the three-season room. It's gonna have, kinda slanted on the sides.
Yeah, I see.
Mhm.
And that's a all glass roof, glass, hot in the summer and freezing. It was down to 40 degrees this winter. Yeah.
Doesn't seem fair.
It has an interior door that is an exterior, a typical exterior door with E-glass on it and everything, so it's insulated.
Mr. Barrington, anything further at this time?
I'm all set at the moment.
Mr. Poirier?
No, my question was going to be about the septic, but it sounds like you've spoken to the appropriate people and you've been given clearance to proceed.
Yes.
On that end.
Yes.
And not to mention that we're just, we're not adding because we're leaving if this is allowed, we'd be leaving the second floor bathroom and then just using our own bathroom, so.
Still gonna be 4 of us.
Yeah, it's
That's it,
just, it's not gonna be any more people there, just.
No kids.
Right.
Yeah, so.
Yeah.
Ms. Mello?
Yeah.
I'm good.
Ms. Clark?
So you only need relief on 10 feet
Yeah.
for the
10,
30
yeah.
feet.
And that side of that house is there, the garage is there, and
On the other
their
side?
pool
On
is
the
there.
other side, yeah,
Yeah.
it's just the driveway
Yeah, and the garage and their pool,
and that pool.
so it's not like.
Right, and I see you have your solar panels, are those
Yeah.
Oh, we
there?
got solar, yeah, we got
so
solar.
you couldn't put it there anyway.
No,
No.
no, that's the north side.
Yeah.
And the interior of the home plots out to be 800 square feet, so that makes it conforming.
Yes.
Yes,
So the actual you're converting, are you adding the bathroom or are you converting
we're
that?
gonna add the
So
bathroom.
you're adding the big, the
Bathroom.
nice bedroom, and then you're converting into living space a dining room?
Dining room, that's gonna be a
So that's gonna
kitchen.
become your
Kitchen.
ADU,
kitchen,
yeah.
so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Total square footage,
746.
751. So we're
Mr.
under
Harris, I'm sorry, I don't understand those letters, ADU.
accessory dwelling
Dwelling
unit.
unit?
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
I have no questions. Looks like lovely use of the space, and
Yeah.
speaking for somebody who doesn't like to go up the stairs anymore.
Okay.
Or downstairs.
It falls to me to make a few comments and perhaps a couple of questions.
Sure.
We have an accessory apartment bylaw that limits you to no more than 800 square feet unless you get relief from us. So you're allowed 800 square feet as of right. And so it does appear to me, and I think you're right to frame it this way, that the only zoning relief you need is from the sideline.
Right.
I want to ask you, that side of your property, which is about 10 feet short, is that the south side or the north side?
North.
North. So the solar panels and.
Everything.
Around the south.
That's on the south side.
They're all solar, right?
Yeah.
There's a solar and the pool.
85 solar
It
panels.
goes around. So you can't build to the south side,
No.
and you can't build to the east or rear because of the pool
Right.
And the hill.
and the hill,
Oh, there's a
which
hill.
There's a big hill.
is a 20-foot hill.
Oh, yeah, there
Yes.
is over there.
It may be even better,
Yeah.
Okay?
right to the pond.
All right. And you have answered Mr. Barrington's excellent questions already, which is, have you heard of any opposition in the neighborhood? You have told us that this addition is going to be not as high as the existing house with a flat roof. The septic, you know you have to get a permit for you'll have to have that looked at.
Okay.
Maybe you don't need a permit, but you'll have to have that looked at by the,
The Board of Health, I
Board of
mean, we
Health,
could
yeah.
make it conditional of just a letter,
Okay,
if your septic system can handle 4 bedrooms.
okay.
okay, so conditioned on that, a letter from Board of Health. Now, we had to go through that north, south, east, west, and where you're gonna place all this, because as you understand from filling out the application, that under state law, you must show something unusual with regard to shape, topography, or soil. Now, you have a topography issue in the back, and arguably a soil issue as well, because of the pool in the back. How would you characterize the solar panels as falling in?
Utilities, yeah.
What?
We usually,
Soil?
we consider those soil because you can't move them. It's almost as if your utilities were
Okay, so
coming
you
in on
got
that side.
soil, you've got water, you've got topography, you've got 3 for 3, you're batting 1,000.
And a well on the same side as the solar.
And a well over there, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's right.
Maybe that's what the W is?
Yeah, it would be a fair assumption. Okay. All right, does anybody else have any questions?
No, the only other thing that I would add is that I appreciated the packet that you put together. It was very clear and concise, and it,
10 years on the Board of Appeals in
The-
Salem. In Salem.
touche.
And we never had less than 10 on the agenda.
Oh,
Wow.
God bless you.
I love this.
Yeah, yeah.
And I appreciate what you folks go through. I do.
Okay, so, do I hear a motion to close the hearing?
So moved.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
This hearing is closed. Now, I'm going to suggest that this board make a finding. And that finding is as follows, that the board finds that owing to circumstances relating to soil conditions, shape or topography of the structures or lot, but not affecting the district generally, a literal enforcement of the provisions of the bylaw would involve substantial hardship to the petitioner, and that relief may be granted without substantial detriment to the public good and without nullifying or substantially derogating from the intent or purpose of the bylaw. Does anybody want to make a motion to adopt that language as a finding of this board this evening on this case?
So moved.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Now we move to a decision to grant a variance on the north side of the property, of a side lot variance of 10 feet pursuant to our authority under the local bylaw and also under Massachusetts General Laws, Chapter 48. We prepared to entertain a motion to make that decision to grant the variance of 10 feet on the north side of the property.
I'll make that motion.
Who's going to second?
Second?
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
I have a question for you.
Sure.
And by the way, Ms. Clark is going to go through her little spiel, which she always does in a minute.
He already knows it.
Sure he does.
But
20 days.
I will likely have this decision written tomorrow and distributed in draft to the board members for their review. So I'm hoping that by Monday it will be signed and filed with the town clerk's office. I'm not going to have to wait.
Okay,
Ms. Clark.
thank you.
Well, I'm sure you know that there's a 20-day appeal period from the time that we file it. And once that appeal period has been finished, the town clerk will call you to come pick up your original decision. You'll take it to the registry of deeds, you'll record it against your deed. You'll take the decision or copy, whichever they give you at the registry now, back to the building inspector or the building department, and they will give you your permit.
Now, onto a couple of other things. The youth soccer coach is your son,
Yes.
I ref high school too.
and I was gonna ask you, you refed up on the North Shore?
Yes,
And who's the youth dance instructor? Is that your daughter-in-law?
Yes.
yes.
And who's the Pied Piper of neighborhood children? I ask you these questions because the gentleman to my far left is a long-time and very good soccer referee,
Oh.
Mr. Barrington. Nod your head. Mr.
Many years.
Many
Go like,
years.
go like this.
Do you still,
As I.
do you still ref?
No,
Oh, you should, they need good refs.
no, my
They do.
health doesn't allow me to be out there doing that.
Wait till you get to be 67 and then run 120 yards.
I
The
know.
gentleman to my left, immediate left, was the varsity soccer coach for the girls at Dartmouth High School for how many years?
32.
Wow.
Super.
Good luck.
Nice to
And
meet
then,
you.
then 10 years with the JV boys before
Oh,
that, so I
nice,
coached about
nice,
40.
nice.
Many soccer recognition, soccer coach recognition.
Yeah, I saw the
awards.
picture upstairs. I don't know if, was that you?
Not his team.
No. No. My son coached Salem High boys.
Okay.
Yeah. And I coached starting when he was 7, 6, 5. Only because they said, you want him to play, you gotta coach. I never kicked the ball in anger. Never kicked the ball in anger. And I'm only doing high school because Danny Gale said, you better do it because they need good ones.
They do.
That's true.
High schools, they have horrible, from what I could see up north, it was horrible refs. And.
Well, I experienced a lot of that too,
Yeah.
because my two children, boy and girl,
Mhm.
were recruited from Maine to Florida to
Wow.
play
super.
collegiately.
Jeez,
And they both
nice.
ended up playing collegiately. My daughter played in 4 NCAA tournaments on a nationally ranked team.
Wow.
Jeez.
So we have a love for the sport and much experience. I cheering and these two
Yeah.
administering and coaching and reffing.
Yeah.
And Carver doesn't have a boys team last year. What happened with that?
Oh.
Don't know.
I'm
If
ready
you
to-
could stay behind for a minute, we're
Sure.
going to adjourn very shortly and I
Okay.
want to ask you a question.
Sure.
Does anybody have any item of discussion that they'd like to bring forth at this time?
No.
Gentlemen made their decision on the records submitted, the plan submitted. Is that
Yes.
gonna be included?
We can
Yeah, it's usually.
list
it just
two
says that.
conditions, the plans of record, and the other condition would be,
Approval by the board.
approval by the Board of Health. Does everybody agree on those conditions? Do I hear a motion to accept those conditions?
So moved.
Second,
Second?
all in favor?
Aye.
So we have those conditions added to the decision.
Okay.
Thank you for that, Ms. Mello. Anything else that you or anyone else would like to add?
No.
Okay. Any further points of discussion or topics that you'd like to raise? I would say for the record, for everybody here tonight, including the board members, that town meeting is a week from tonight. That would be April 12 at 7 p.m. There are a number of important issues on the warrant. And it's not always the case when we get to town meeting that we have as many as we do, it seems to me anyway, as many as we do this year. So we urge everybody to attend town meeting. This is an opportunity for you to listen and have your voice heard if you care to speak. But this is town government and democracy reduced to its lowest common denominator, and I mean that in a positive way. So we hope to see everybody there in a week. Having said all that, do I hear a motion to adjourn for the evening?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
I'll say.
Aye.
Thank you, Carver. We stand adjourned.